I don't know how to explain it in a way that makes sense, but I'm going to try. Today I'm going to be cutting my own hair, and no, I'm not doing it, filming it and posting it on YouTube because so many people before me have done so. I'm doing this because this is actually a really big deal for me, and I just wanted to document it. Like a really big deal. Just as big of a deal as when I told you that I was really looking forward to eating potato wedges for dinner. I love me some potato wedges, I really do. No, but seriously, I decided to make this video all the way back in 2021. I think that was, yeah, summer 2021. Why then, you may ask? Basically the last time that I got my hair cut was in the summer of 2021, and when I did, my hairdresser hadn't cut my hair as short as I had wanted her to, but she had already styled my hair, dried it, and so I felt quite bad asking her to cut a few centimeters off afterwards, so I didn't. But once I got to my room, I did take my scissors and try to shorten it just the slightest amount myself. Nothing crazy happened. I don't even think it changed all that much. I literally cut just barely noticeable amount of hair off, but it was still a really big deal for me because I would have never ever done that before. That might sound like an exaggeration, but it really isn't. Taking my scissor up to my hair and snipping a few strands felt like such a new experience in a sort of therapeutic and liberating way, I guess, that I knew immediately that the next time I would get a haircut, I would be the one to cut it. And here we are 2 years later. I don't think my hair has ever been this long, like ever. Let me just bring it down. Yeah, a lot of hair, and that wasn't necessarily my intention. I mean, I didn't expect my hair to grow this long so quickly. It just did. But I do have to admit that I did want to grow out a little more than necessary, so that even if I did cut a bit longer than the desired length, so my hairdresser would still have quite a bit to work with, it would still be quite a big deal, and it would still be quite the length that I would be cutting. If I want my hair here, but I cut here so that, you know, she has like space to work with, it's still all of this I'm cutting off, you know. I am 90% sure that I'm going to be resorting to a hairdresser after I cut my own hair because one, duh, I have no idea how to cut hair professionally and properly, and two, because if I let myself believe that someone will be cutting my hair so as to make it look nice after me, I don't have to worry about making it look nice myself because someone will fix it afterwards. So yeah, that's a weight lifted off of my shoulders. No need to panic if it looks awful. Though that's not going to stop me from trying and having a go at myself. There's still the 10% delusional part of me that believes that she can nail it and perfect the desired hairstyle just because she's just that good without any prior experience. As I said, delusional. Anyway, let's dive into how I feel about my hair. For as long as I can remember, I've both been very uninterested and hyper aware of my hair, both physically and mentally. For the latter, it was especially doing secondary school and onwards, so basically all throughout my adolescence and onwards. I still remember that for a big portion of my life, my hair always remained in a ponytail, just completely up. It took the least amount of effort, and that way my hair wasn't something that was bothering me and was just getting in my way. It was all a question of efficiency, of low maintenance, of no effort, of simply just convenience. It was always about what was the easiest to deal with, and as you can imagine, bangs were always a big no. I don't know if it's just because like it was just too stimulating maybe, I don't know, but it's just not something I view as a priority or something worth putting a lot of time and effort into. I don't even think I've let my hair down for a single day this year, or even like the past couple of years, to be honest. Every day my main mission for my hair is for it to be as discreet and as unnoticeable as possible, if that makes sense. And yet it's something that preoccupies me a lot. I feel so, as I said, hyper aware, hyper fixated, just obsessed with my hair and how it looks. I feel like I'm constantly scrutinizing it, and it's as though it's my entire identity, and I just base so much of my worthiness onto it. For so long I equated a bad hair day for a bad day and a good hair day for a good day, for example. It's where my beauty stems from as a woman, and it's what made me beautiful and feminine. I'm talking as though I'm going to shave my hair today. I am not. No, definitely not. I'm not doing anything drastic, but I just wanted to share thoughts. I guess it's like I view my hair as my golden ticket to beauty, And I've come to the realizations that for the past few years I've become quite reliant on it, on my hair. I can't really explain it, but it's kind of as though I view my hair as this sort of sacred thing, like it's just precious and it's integral to my identity. I know I saw a TikTok video, I think a year ago, where this person basically shaved her head and was talking about why she did so. She, for example, said that I never want being pretty to become a distraction from who I am, so I shaved off my hair. Not that that makes me any less pretty, but society tells women that the pretty ones have long hair. Because if you think that you have found me, but all that you've really found is that I look pretty with hair, you have not found me at all. The world must have deceived you so well that you are convinced that the length of your hair, not the quality of your character, is what makes you beautiful. So, if my hair is all you can see, there's the door. And I hope that somewhere outside that you can find that beyond being pretty, there is so much more. I don't know how much of that message concerns me directly and personally. I do agree with it, but I think that when it comes to me, it might be more on a subconscious level. But I still wanted to mention it either way because I do think it's important. But anyway, it's not like I've never liked my hair. There were times when I got a haircut and I was absolutely happy with it, completely delighted and excited about it. My complaint is that this has occurred not nearly enough times as it should. And I just generally spend too much time scrutinizing it and just worrying about it in general when it's down, so I choose the comfortable, safer option of just putting it up, always. And I want to unlearn that. Though I will say, as I've become more and more aware of this tendency and as I've been more and more introduced to the concept of body neutrality in my life and my vocabulary, I have started working on finding my worth in things that I can control, basing my identity on more tangible things like my personality, who I am, and even fashion, swapping my intense focus on my hair to my passion for fashion, something I truly have power over. Though I'm sure a lot of people will argue that you do have power over your hair through the choice of haircut, hairstyle, even hair color, and I completely agree and understand where you're coming from, but I don't know, in my mind there's still quite a lot about your hair that is just beyond your decision. For example, the texture and the way it acts sometimes depending on the days and stuff. So yeah, just wanted to put that out there. I will say that maybe that's not what's happening at all, like the beauty standards and everything that I impose on my hair. Or maybe it is on a smaller, more additional level. I barely understand my brain sometimes, so it's difficult for me to make sense of it and understand it. But the more I think about it, the more I'm kind of convinced that that's not what's happening at all. Maybe, possibly. What might be happening instead, other theory, is that I've just grown very protective and even overprotective of my hair over the years, which has translated into how I view my hair. Because, for example, I never really let anyone touch my hair or do anything with it for very specific reasons. Yeah, in secondary school, I used to style my friends' hair a lot during lunch breaks because it was fun and I just liked braiding their hair, but it was so much so that they always offered to style my hair in return and I would always adamantly refuse. It was just kind of like this no zone because I have a extremely sensitive scalp, really sensitive scalp, and my hair just does naturally become tangled very, very, very easily. Terrible combination, but yeah, it just really easily hurts to brush and style my hair. And yeah, going to the hairdresser can be quite the painful experience when they're not being too gentle with it, I guess. Tears are shed. And even I have to be careful when handling it. All that to say that maybe my being protective over my hair has led to this sort of subconscious thinking where my hair is now this sacred, precious thing that needs to be handled with care. Who knows? I don't know. Another theory though would be that I view cutting my hair as something that I'm just not allowed to do. One of those unspoken or unwritten rules that everyone is just aware of and that you just carry with you your entire life. Similarly to watching television in the mornings when you're only used to doing it in the evenings, or having vegetable soup for your afternoon snack. Or even playing card games at 4 in the morning when you should be sleeping, but you just do so because everyone just coincidentally woke up at the same time and decided that it's better to play card games than just lay in bed without falling asleep. as you grow older and become more of an adult, I think that's the one thing that you really do learn and discover, and it's that you have so much more power over how you choose to live your life than you think. It's as though the things that you always thought impossible now become possible. You can eat ice cream in winter if you want. You can also just send a message to someone you haven't talked to in years without it being weird, and you can cut your hair without it meaning you're going crazy or having a mental breakdown. Basically just allowing yourself to do things that are considered unconventional, and understanding that unconventional doesn't mean impossible. I sound like I'm in my philosophy class, but yeah, cutting my own hair is something that is very much out of the ordinary for me, something that I view as unconventional and that I thought impossible for a very long time. I know it might sound very silly and weird of me to admit when so many people on the internet just dye their hair a different color every month or shave their head without any question, just completely confidently and without any hesitation. But I'm not one of those people, and that's how I feel regardless. I did enjoy having longer hair than I usually do. It did make me feel like a medieval princess, but it's gotten to a point where the length and how high maintenance it is just makes me angry. It just takes so long to brush and shower, and it's just awful. It's holding me back, and I can't go into my 21 years of age with that kind of energy. It's my birthday today, and when I was thinking about today a week ago and moving into my 21 years of age with my hair looking the way it does and with how damaged it is and not doing anything about it, I didn't like that. That's truly what put a stop to my powerful procrastination and fear and motivated me to actually do it and actually cut my hair. I was actually going to do this video in September when I was on holiday. It's now a month later, so yeah, had to get it done. Because right now it generally feels like it imposed itself on me and I'm just enduring it. It's holding me back, it's dragging me down, it needs to go. Especially the split ends, so many split ends. Yeah, I think I've gone on too many tangents now. Let's proceed. If only I was given €1 every time I said the word hair in this video, I would be so rich. But anyway, let's do this. First of all, I'm going to wet my hair a bit to make it, I don't know, easier to cut. But yeah, I think I'm going to wet it a bit, brush it, brush this. It's very long, again, barely fits the frame. I was thinking of donating it. That's also one of the reasons why I grew it out so much, so that there would be even more length to give. I know they don't accept extremely damaged hair and just the split ends in general, but we'll see. Yeah. This was my idea, but yeah, no, I'm doing it. Yeah. Like it doesn't look good anymore. It's so damaged. I mean, it still grows really quickly though, and I think when it's really damaged it doesn't. I guess it depends on the person, but of course it's when you need something you can't find any hairbands, but I got some from my mother's. This is so stressful. Okay, got my literally falling apart. I need to change it. If there are any professional hairstylists watching this video, please don't judge me. Enough. Time to brush. day, otherwise I'll be brushing my hair for the rest of the day. I know it's taking a lot longer because one, my hair is long, but also just because my brush needs to be replaced. This is the hair now brushed. I've separated it into two. Time to put these hairbands. Apparently you need to put one side length. I'm just gonna put it lower. Right. I might do this one again. I'm so scared that this is too high. Second elastic band. Time to cut, I guess. I don't even have my scissors out. I got the scissors, probably not the best scissors to use, but we'll see. Intuitively, I just feel like I should cut here because that just makes sense to me, but no. Gotta cut above. Just bring it down a bit.
One eternity later.
This is so scary. Oh my god, I just heard the first snap. No way. No way that I'm doing this. Oh, this is so weird. This is so weird. Oh my god. Oh my god. My heart's beating so fast. Okay. Just hearing it. I can see it. Oh my god. This is hard. Oh my god. I haven't had hair this short in years. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. This is taking a long time, my goodness. Oh my god. I forgot how much I enjoy having short hair. Last piece. Oh my god. Oh my god. I feel euphoric. I feel crazy right now. This is so exciting. I miss having short hair. I missed it. This feels so nice. Some hair did fall a bit, but oh my god. Oh. It's so weird seeing my hair right here. Like this was attached to my hair. It's not anymore. I'm so glad I did this. I'm not even finished, but this This feels so weird. This feels like it belongs to someone else. Okay, let's do the second side. I'm so not used to seeing myself like this now. It's so much easier. Okay, let's do the second side. I didn't think I would be this happy and excited. This is thrilling, so thrilling. I thought I would feel a little more overwhelmed than I do, but okay. Oh my god. My mother's gonna lose it. Okay, well, I butchered that a bit. As you can see, this is pretty bad. Compared to this side, I don't know. But, oh my god. This feels weird. This feels so weird. This feels like a wig already. Oh. I can't believe I did this. I'm so glad I did. I finally got that done, and it only took it being my birthday. Wow. I was gonna say it doesn't look as bad as I expected it to, but I don't even have a mirror to look behind me, so. Oh my god. Look at it. It's so short. This feels very strange. It looks so bad. See all of the split ends. I still want it a bit shorter, but I might leave that for the hairdresser. I know I said I was going to try, but it's so short already that I'm scared that if I mess it up. Can I even put my hair up? It's tiny. I feel like a brand new person. I did it. I didn't realize how long I was waiting for this moment until it actually happened. It feels nice already to have it so short. It does feel weird to not have this on my head. Yeah, this was fun. I feel like I'm 19 or 18 again. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get used to this again. They're a lot softer than they were a few hours ago when I first cut them, so I am going to still send them by post. Like this, they'll get to decide whether my hair is good enough to make something out of or not. I'm not expert, so I don't know. It's kind of satisfying actually putting my hand through them. Also a bit weird, I would imagine, but yeah, it's gonna be difficult departing from them, not only physically but actually like mentally, and me not having them at all. It is also weird for me to think about how this is something that just my body produces a infinite amount. I could do this every 2 years if I wanted. Kind of wild what the body does sometimes, but yeah, this is what they look like a few hours later. Not much difference. You can see how significant and visible the split ends are, but yeah, I did it, and I'm so glad I did. I do think I'm gonna try. I know my hair is up right now, but I am going to be trying to get used to having it down. I think it's just a question of being used to it or not, like most things. So yeah, I'm going to learn to get used to having my hair down. I know it looks like I do in videos, but I only do it for the video. Once the camera is off, I put it back up just out of habit, I think. So yeah, I'm going to try to learn to get used to it, and we'll see how it goes. I do think that having shorter hair really does help me in having it down. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I surprised 3 people today, my mother, my sister and her boyfriend, and it was also really fun. They were all really shocked, but we can say goodbye to these little guys. They will be gone forever. They are still quite shiny, but there's still quite a bit of split ends in my opinion, but I'm gonna do like every hairstylist a little bit of shine test. Can't believe I started today with long hair, now I'm ending it with short hair. Crazy what you can do when you can get done in a day. I ended up changing my mind and I decided that 5 days later I would try trimming my hair and getting myself the desired hairstyle. The audio got messed up, which is why I'm doing this voiceover to explain the next clips. But yeah, let's get into it. As I said previously in this video, do not judge me if I'm doing this wrong or not doing this perfectly well. I'm not trying to do this perfectly well with the right techniques. I'm just trying to get the hairstyle that I would like. Anyway, yeah, if I mess this up, the hairdresser will just have to cut shorter, which, you know, I'm not too mad about. Sorry. Okay. I might get clip actually. I mean, you can definitely see the difference between before and after, lengthwise. I wish I could just take my head, pop it up, and cut it from someone else's point of view. This is a bit annoying. Not the same length. I might just finish this part of my hair and then just go to the hairdresser because I just can't be bothered to do this. This is not as exciting as I thought it was going to be. This is harder than I thought it was going to be. Not that I regret doing it, but I don't know how people do it. I have such a hard time cutting the back pieces. Now time for me to share with you my go-to hairstyles that all happen to be very effortless. First we have a simple single braid. Basically when I had longer hair I would always braid my hair before going to bed, which meant that all I had to do in the morning was just add a few clips to clean up and get the flyaways out of the way, and that's it. Now the second one with still pretty long hair is the low slick back ponytail. I think this one works better with medium length hair. At least I think it looks better on me when my hair was still long, but not as long as in this clip. And all I do is remove the slept in braid and just put it up in a ponytail. Another one that I did quite often and that I forgot to show here was the low slick back bun. There are two different ways of doing it. The first one is basically when my hair was long but not too long, then I would put it in a bun and leave some of it to peek through like so. A very 2000s hairstyle. The second option I used when my hair was longer, too long to go with the first way of doing it. So I would just go with the clean flight attendant or military bun. Another one of my favourite hairstyles to do was the clip ponytail hairstyle. It's the same thing as the slick back ponytail but with an added step of using the clip. I also like to take out a few of the flyaways with this one to frame my face. I also think it works best with shorter long hair. For short hair, one that I often do is extremely similar to the low bun hairstyle, but this time instead of doing an actual bun, I just put it like this. I don't really know how to describe it. My hair was slightly too short in this clip for it to work as well. But yeah, I also like to have the end of it peek through when it's even longer, and have some of my front pieces out a bit with this one.
Another hairstyle that I really like in theory is the half up, half down ponytail. I do have a hard time including it in my favorite and my go-to hairstyles because of how painful it is to remove, but if it wasn't, then that would also be an honorable mention. And that's it.
Thank you for joining me on this journey, and yeah, that's it for today. Feels quite anticlimactic now that it's over, but it is what it is. So yeah, finally happened. Finally happened. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!